Tyler Robinson killed no one. Didn't shoot anybody. Didn't kill anybody. Never happened. Never happened. Never. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you following this? I don't think people grasp this. It never happened. The guy on trial right now didn't do this. Didn't do this. Not only because the evidence doesn't show it, but that there's no evidence. It's not even remotely, there's nothing even there. It is so ill-conceived because he was supposedly about to be dispatched. They were going to butler him, to Epstein him. And for reasons apparently that we can't figure out, they missed or something went wrong. And all of what you're seeing right now is a result of that. I wouldn't be surprised, you're saying, if the person responsible for having eliminated him is no longer with us. Because what he did right now is to unravel something which normally is not unraveled. Stated differently, from the time of JFK to RFK to MLK to you name the case, there's never really been a kind of an understanding as to who did what. This is going to be different. Let me say that again. This is important. Up till now, we never really found out, well, who was responsible for the JFK case? Who really was responsible for RFK? Was it Sirhan Sirhan? No, not really. Was it MK Ultra? Well, maybe. I don't really know. We're not really sure. What about MLK? Well, it's hard to say. We never find out. We have theories. We have people. If anybody books on JFK, so many. This, listen to what I'm saying, is going to be the first time that the actual assassination reality is exposed. And the first time that the government is going to be made to explain, why didn't you do something about this? This has never been done before. This has never been done before. This is bigger than anything you or anybody can even grasp. Let me say this again, because I think we get lost in pickles and this one says that. This is so big. This is like, wait a minute, hold it, pay attention to what's happening. Let me explain to you why this is so big, why what Candace is doing is beyond. I mean, this is Tyler Robinson, the man on trial right now for the assassination of Charlie Kirk, did not do this. And they are doing everything we'll get to the they part. They are doing everything they can not to be exposed, not to be identified, not to be brought into the light, and to hope that you will remain as confused and angry and disjointed and all over the place as you could possibly be. They're hoping beyond hope. Hoping beyond hope that everything that goes on right now remains completely and totally as confusing as possible. Do you hear what I'm saying? They're hoping beyond hope. And they're going to do it. They're going to keep throwing new things out. And they're going to hope that you're going to focus on pickles. And we're going to do that too a little bit. And focus on text messages and whether Charlie said this and did Charlie say that. And did Blake Neff said this and Colvett said this. See, that's fascinating. They are praying that you are happy and satisfied and you are confused and you substitute getting to the bottom of what an idiot Blake Neff is or whoever in pickle, it doesn't matter. They're hoping you'll be satisfied with that you will confuse that with what's happening right now. Would you close this door, please? Thank you. They are confusing that. They are confusing. They are hoping beyond hope that you're just not smart enough to figure this out, that you'll be so bad and that you're so unused to issue analysis that you'll just be caught up in this whirlwind, that that they'll figure, oh, you don't understand it. See, Candace is getting them all revved up. They're talking about this and Andrew this, and don't worry about them. They just talk and talk and talk, and they go on X and they do these things and they point stuff out. And, oh, Erica said this and Erica said, but that doesn't have anything to do with this. Let me say something to you. It has nothing to do with this. Who killed Charlie? It's not Tyler. Okay, so what did we learn? I don't know. I know that Blake's a dick, and this one's an idiot, and this one's a fool, and Erica's a failed actress. But do we know? No, but we're heading that way. Let me just remind you, that's great stuff, and I absolutely, positively believe that you have to say that to explain how a real kind of a conspiracy works without people realizing that you're in a conspiracy. You see, for example, if you sat down with Blake and said, do you understand you are part and parcel of a move to hide who killed Charlie Kirk, that you are obstructing justice in essence? So what you're doing by these quotes and this, you're wasting time. And that Viva and others, I mean, that's great and everything, but it's just an attempt to stop the procession and the progression, which we're not going to stop, by the way, in finding out who killed Charlie. And by the way, I must say something. I'm going to throw in a lot of interruptions. Okay. First, I don't hate Viva Frey at all. Never met him. I think I was on a show with him one time. I have no personal, my disagreement never turns into hatred, anxiety. Barnes and all that. They've said a lot of great stuff. They are dead wrong with this. I mean, absolutely. But now they're going after Viva's height. That's it. They're showing him next, and the stuff is, I don't even want to say it, because there is this childish, adolescent hatred that brings up, especially, and I mentioned this the other day, you better watch this talk about Jews. And I don't know if anybody really realizes, but I do. Tone it down. Hit the brakes. You're sounding not you, but people I'm talking to. You're sounding like stormtroopers or something. What is this, a boot meeting? This is horrible. Because it's going from Israel to BB to Zionists to Jews, and the Jews do this. Anyway, there's something about, I read Viva and the Jews and they're short. And I'm saying, hold it. I'm not in that group. Keep that. I'm over here. So if you want to go there, that's fine. What are we going to yell at? James Madison, it was what, 5'2"? It's just this. I guess Lionel Messi, he's not a real tall guy. You're going to make fun of him? This is when, and you know who does this, who feeds this, is Pickles. Because he goes after and he hits our most, it's like people getting drunk and arguing. You say things you don't mean, or you didn't mean to say it that way. So we got to tone this down. I mean, seriously, you're missing the point. They're saying, see? Right now, the Middle East is a catastrophe, and people are going out of their way to dismiss what you're saying, legitimate, actual problems and disagreements with our, military theory and worldview. They're saying that we are anti-Semites. They no, and what they're doing is they're locking in, they're glomming onto and including these absolutely hateful statements. I didn't say that. You didn't say that. So one last word. If you don't like the way what Viva says, say it. I don't care about his height. I don't care about what Rachel Wilson looks like. I don't really care about her baby daddies or whatever the hell that is. Only if it's a direct contradiction to what she said. And anything else for that matter. It doesn't. And I'm going to say one more thing. Please try your best. Everything. I'll watch something and I'll say, I can't put this up. F-bomb this, F-bomb that. Even though when I love him, even though I love Joe Rogan, it's like sometimes I don't know who you're hanging around, but it's just, it hits. There's this point where I don't know. It's like adding salt. This is good. Okay, stop. Stop. Now it's too salty. Interesting pun. So I've just got to say this. I'm starting off today. Yesterday, I just had to like clean my head. I'm getting all caught up in this. Let me start off with a very, very, very simple issues, my friend. Number one, let's start off as I said. Tyler Robinson did not kill anyone. Charlie Manson did not kill anyone. He might have been, but not the Tate LaBianca. Start off with that. Lee Harvey Oswald didn't kill anybody. Okay, but here's the story. It stopped. We didn't have social media. We didn't have Candace Owens. We didn't have you. We didn't have people in the old days pursuing this, pushing this. For the first time, and I know this hasn't hit you yet, because when it does, you won't be able to breathe. We're going to finally uncover something before everybody's mind, and say, or their mind too, and say, well, Kash Patel, well, President Trump, well, DOJ, well, FBI, there it is. The whole time, I told you so. And Candace Owens, I believe, will officially change her name, though I doubt it, but maybe as a parenthesis, because you can always add on your name. If you want to change your name, you can always add something to it. Just like Ennis Freedom, we'll get to him too. You can change your name, but her name can be Candace, parentheses, I told you so, Owens Farmer or whatever. Because Candace is going to say, I told you so. And here is it. And I want you to say something. Kash, you didn't do anything about this. We told you. We brought this to you. Every single day, we had something new. And you fought us, or you ignored us. Don Jr., bless your heart, we told you this. We told you this. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you were, I don't know. Erica, we're the most surprised with you. We told you about this. We told you who really killed your husband, the father of your children, and you fought us. You said we were, I don't know what you said, Erica, Candace. Go down the list. We told you. Let me ask you, who, when everybody officially knows this, when everybody says officially, okay, you're right, this happened, yep, you're right about that, okay. Who was the main person you want to talk to? Who is the main person you want to sit down in front of them and have them hear from you so that everybody sees them on TV? We line them up. I think I'm going to start with like the DOJ, FBI, just because Kash Patel, look, is a waste of flesh. He's a waste of DNA. You know him. I know it. I don't know what the hell he's doing there, but he's a joke. But anyway. Him. Let's start with him. We figured it out. We did this for you. I don't want to say we brought the receipts, but if you want, here they are. You never impaneled a grand jury. By the way, DOJ, you never did. Blanche or anybody, you never impaneled a grand jury. Nothing. You never did anything. This was the assassination of one of the most powerful political people of all time, and you didn't even care. We told you. I told you so. I told you so. This is the most important thing in the world. And she told you. And it will kill people. It will absolutely kill people, especially the anti-Candace crowd. But what I'm going to say again to you for the millionth time is that she is going to be responsible for, it's like finding landing on Mars or whatever it is, actually having a murder case solved where it went from this guy to this guy. It will be the first crowd-sourced not guilty ever. The heavens will shake Up till now, it's always been, wow, there was this group. You had Mark Lane in the old days and Dorothy Kilgallen, and you had Oliver Stone, and you had a bunch of other people. And these poor JFK investigators, they'd go to their meetings every year. And, well, we'll never know. We're going to find out now because it's not even a year yet. And already the evidence is overwhelming. We've got people here. We've got people who are the greatest investigators right now. People who I don't, and I'm not going to go through the list, but they are the best investigators ever. They can watch gritty, grainy, CCTV, closed circuit. They can watch this, compare it, and come up with analyses because they know how to use software, they know how to use computers, they know how to use editing, while the prosecution does nothing, while the defense only works on the death penalty, which to me means they've conceded guilt. That's all they're talking about is the death penalty. We got to save them from the death penalty. No, we'll get to that later on. Let's talk about the guilt part. They're not interested in that. I can't believe what I'm saying. And even they are going to have to realize we have to do something well because we've got these people. And I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. Oh, by the way, I would love to sit there, very frankly, to see Viva and Mr. Barnes and say, well, well, well. What do you have to say about that? Ain't that something? Just to be there. Because they're not bad people. They're just wrong. Profoundly wrong. And I don't care what they look like. They're wrong. There are people who I may agree with that I don't particularly like how they look or care, but it doesn't. This look business, I don't know where the hell that came from, but anyway. But that's what we're doing right now. This is bigger than anything we've ever seen. And nobody really understands it. And certainly nobody here. They don't. But other people are, very frankly, and I'm going to say this, not including, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. A lot of stuff. And I'm going to mention this Lindsay Clancy, which is huge. I want to talk about this WNBA thing. I want to talk about robotics. And I want you to understand that you can't eat the same food every single day. That yes, this is critical, but you live in a world and you live in a country and you live at a time when there are other issues that are equally as important as this. Equally. I cannot eat. I can go for long periods of time where I have the same thing every day. And then one day I say, all right, that's enough. That's enough. In order for you to be a sentient human being, to be a part of this world, you've got to know what's going on because your world is under attack. And a lot of people, believe it or not, are also using this Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson business as a diversion from other things. And that's why Pickles is there. And they threw somebody, and believe me, somebody in the future will say, let's use the Pickles defense. What is that? That's where we get a complete roaring, gaping, flaming asshole, and we throw him out, and he just sucks all the oxygen out of the room. He comes out and says the most stupid things you've ever seen, and he doesn't get any better and doesn't care. But you got to get somebody who's stupid. You've got to get somebody. You've got to. This will be the Pickles move, and people will do that. They will find somebody. In fact, they're being recruited now. Somebody online, somebody who's really stupid. There's a lot of them, and somebody who was just filled by, who seeks this vainglorious attention, very, very minimal in terms of his own self-worth, very confused, a little boy, intellectually deficient, doesn't understand critical thinking, but somebody who's a bombast, somebody who's boorish, churlish. An intellectual, scruffian, or somebody. He's just a maroon, but he's so good at going on and saying things that are absolutely stupid. I mean, if you had somebody, if we could pick somebody, if I could have somebody, imagine a Kathy Griffin that we could enlist. And I could say, let me show you this. We're going to do this. I'm going to prove my point. I'm going to do this ahead of time, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to do it, and then I want you to see what's going on. Okay. Let's say the issue is the WNBA women, trans, whatever player. That's That's the story. I'm going to show you what I would do using the pickles move. I would say, Kathy, come here, because Kathy Griffin is here. I want you to go out and I want you to say this. Say the reason why people aren't listening to me is because they know I'm smarter than them and I'm more attractive than them. What? Say this. They're not going to believe it. Don't believe it. Go out and say it. Kathy Griffin says, wait. I'm not stupid. Because I'm the most attractive? Yes, say it. The same thing that Pickle said. I'm smarter. I can debate. And he can't. Candace won't debate, but she does. She did. I mean, you get somebody like that. Somebody who's really a bombastic churl. Somebody who's really just trailer trash. Okay? Kathy, would you do that for me? It's part of an experiment. All right. We'll pay you. You got to pay these people. They don't do it for free. Okay. So all of a sudden, you read the next day, WNBA. Here comes Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin says, the reason why people don't, or because I'm so beautiful, whatever. And so help me God, they will stop talking about WNBA and they'll jump to Kat and they'll say, what do you mean beautiful? You're horrible. You're ugly. You're this. It's exactly what happens. It's like, it's even in nature, when you have a piece of bread that's being, or whatever, that's being attacked by ants, if you put another piece of meat or pizza or whatever, the ants don't go to that one. They stay there, but you get new ants. Not here. We have the attention span. We have people who really cannot handle multiple issues. And they want something that's the loudest. So you want to get somebody like Pickles who comes on and says these ridiculous things. I'm smart. I can debate. I know the issues. I'm a master rhetorician when you're not. Oh, and just when it was kind of getting, slowing down, he brings in his wife, who might be even worse than he is. And the direction was redeployed. And we lost, frankly, a lot of people. And I'm with you sometimes. I'm just as guilty. Sometimes I'll say, did you see this? This is funny. And I'm debating. I've got a couple of them today. But as I speak, I'm thinking, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing what I'm criticizing other people of doing. I'm saying this guy's a maroon. And why are we talking about him? Why are we even there? But it's kind of funny. But that's the thing. See, people don't understand. Most folks cannot, when I say not argue, they really don't understand. They don't get it. Let me give you an example of something. This is so sad, so terrible, but I'm gonna bring this to your attention anyway, and I want you to kind of grasp this. And I'm sorry that we're even having to do this, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. Okay? I want you to understand this. This is important. Look at this right here. This is the most horrible. Look at the three beautiful babies on the left, all of them strangled by the woman on the right. This is Lindsay Clancy. Okay? Got this? This is the most important thing to understand. This is the case right now. This is issue analysis. This is the first thing I would teach in my class, issue analysis. And I will forever refer to this and say, here's the best example of what people, they got so upset over the issue, they missed the point completely. Let me explain this to you. As a lawyer, not as a former prosecutor, do I hate her? Of course, but that's not the issue. The issue is simply this. In the state of Massachusetts, they have the McCool, MCHOUL decision. It's like their McNaughton rule. The very, very simple fact is this. Like most, it's a little, I'm not going to go through the differences. Did this woman know that killing her kids was wrong? Understand this? Somebody real complex. Simplest case, there it is. Not complicated in the least. Simple. And I would tell the jury, I'd say, I'd want to be the prosecution on this one. Defense, if she had a good defense, no. Absolutely. Absolutely. Under the state of Massachusetts, the defense puts up this idea that she was crazy. Okay. The burden shifts and the prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she wasn't crazy. Let me do it. First of all, number one, was she maybe crazy? Could be. Yeah. Is there something called postpartum psychosis? Absolutely. Do all people with postpartum depression or psychosis get it? No. Do all of them kill their kids? No. Is this rare? Yes. But is it? So I'm not arguing the fact. Next, when she went to the psychiatrist, did she get the wrong medication? Seems like that to lay people. I got both sides. Experts saying, no, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Lay people say, oh my God, look at this. And they have this thing called SSRIs. They go berserk over SSRIs. That a lot of times is an antidepressant. A lot of times what she's doing are benzodiazepines are different, but collectively they say SSRIs. And for a while now, our group says SSRIs are responsible for murder and death and mayhem. Sometimes, not necessarily. It's also saved more lives than you can imagine. It's one of these things. You got to balance it. It's just overnight. For example, people went crazy over seed oils overnight, but they will embrace olive oil like it's the greatest thing in the world. It's 100%. But don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. They just. Okay. So in our group, they have this SSRI thing. Don't you understand that when you take SSRIs and you stop them or add them or whatever it is or misdiagnose, sometimes the murder-suicide connection has indeed been made? Yes. But who are taking SSRIs? People who are showing some type of psychiatric problem to begin with. So the people who are all of a sudden jumping to murder-suicide are people who were psychiatrically bothered in the first place. Who, you see what I'm saying? It's not like you all of a sudden you gave a group of people who were not depressed, who said, hey, come here, you want to take these SSRIs? Why? But let's just take them. Did any of them go crazy? No. It's the people who are already crazy on SSRIs. And when I say crazy, I don't mean crazy. I mean people who were. Okay. So anyway, that's great for a medical malpractice case. That's great for, you can blame Big Pharma. Great. Go ahead. Has nothing to do with this. Nothing. Some people are saying she's not guilty. Oh, she's guilty under Massachusetts law. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you should say, wow, anybody who takes this list of whatever has to be not guilty. Maybe you feel like that. That's not the law. But maybe you can go back and change our common law system and guilt. Here's the bottom line. Did she at any time know that she posed a danger and that danger was wrong and that she could hurt her kids and that's wrong? Yep. She's not saying, I thought they were the devil's spawn to do what was wrong. No, it wasn't wrong. Of course, I had to do that. I had to do that for the benefit for Beelzebub, for Beelzebub. I had to do that. She never said that. She knew exactly what was wrong. She checked her into a hospital. She went. She was looking up online. She told her husband, her mother, everybody knew. I'm scaring myself. I want to hurt myself and my kids. Is it normal to want to hurt your kids? Something's wrong. She should have immediately said, I'm leaving. This is wrong. I have this. It's like I'm going to bring this up and you're not going to, as an example, lycanthropy, the werewolf. You're Lon Chaney. I know at sunset, I turn into the werewolf and I go and I hurt people. So I've got to lock myself in because I know what happens to me. I know it. When you know that when you drink, you get violent and that you have often said you've tried to kill people before when you're drinking and you say, okay, and you get drunk again, you knew it. Don't blame the drinking. You didn't do anything to stop that. You can move to a different state. I'm not kidding. You can check yourself in. You can remove, give up voluntary, terminate parental rights. You do all kinds of stuff. Let me ask you a question. When your eyesight is so bad, when you're old and you can't drive anymore, you turn your license in. You know this. You're being told this woman right here, not because I hate her, not because she did terrible. Of course, what she did was terrible. This is different if all of a sudden she woke up one day and said, "Oh my God, I just killed my kids." Yeah, did you know that? No. I mean, I was a little depressed, but I don't know what happened. I don't even remember it. That's a different story. Maybe then, maybe. And the man, the drugs, whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But she knew it. She knew it the whole time. She kept trying to get treatment for it. She was looking it up online. She was talking to her husband. Now, whether they're involved, I don't know. Why are these women marching in? I don't know. They're like Code Pink for mothers. I don't know. Are they paid? Maybe. I don't know. Was the murder horrible? Absolutely. That has really nothing to do with it. I don't care if it's if she just slipped some, if it doesn't matter. The issue is this. Under the McCool case and McNaughton, did she know right from wrong? Yes. Not at the very moment she's doing it, but she knows it's coming. It's this wave. I'm waking up and I'm thinking about this. And I would have said, if that were my husband, as much as I love Mrs. L, if those were our kids, I'd say, we're going to do one of two things. Either you're leaving, and I mean for a long time, or we're leaving. But you are not going to get near these kids. And I'll bet you, and let's say it was me. Let's say I'm the one. I've got paternal, psychosis or whatever. I would say absolutely. Why? Because I got to do the right thing. Because I could hurt them. Because I'm having these weird ideas, these strange things, and I could hurt somebody. It's the strangest thing. You know that Ted Bundy one time lived with this woman and her daughter, and the daughter said Ted Bundy was one of the nicest people, treated her with kindness, and the mother never did anything. Never did. They didn't know anything. It's weird. You don't fool around with this stuff. So that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. All this talk is it's great. It's terrific. But under the law, she is guilty. Maybe she shouldn't be. And let me go back to what I said initially. This is important. Tyler Robinson did not kill anybody. Margot, bless her heart, says she might be crazy, but she knew what she was doing. Yes. And she knew that what was going wrong was going to happen again. That it was coming. She's been fighting this. What do you want? That's it right there. It doesn't mean at the moment. At the moment, yeah, when you're in this fugue, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I know I have epilepsy and I have grand mal seizures that come up with no, and I'm driving a school bus, knowing that I get these seizures, nothing against epileptics, and most of them are not. And I'm driving, and sure enough, when I got a busload full of kids, I said, well, what did you think? Well, I didn't know I'd get it that moment, but you knew you were going to have them. You knew these seizing episodes were coming. It's the same thing. And here's the thing. That's the law. If you don't like the law, change the law. Tyler Robinson's important because of the fact that he didn't kill anybody, because there is no evidence of this. Nothing. The only thing, you can forget the gun. Let us take the gun and forget it. I don't care whether a 30-06 hurts anybody. I don't care whether it was a frangible bullet. I don't care what Pickles said. The funniest line ever was that when you fired it, the bullet goes out the barrel and explodes. He said this. He said this with a straight face. He says the bullet disintegrates. He said this with a straight face. Not kidding. And he's an expert. He's a gunsmith. Really? Yeah, he's a gunsmith. Well, Okay, he's a gunsmith and he believes this. All righty. This is the most beautiful, and I'm thinking, who cares about what he says? He's unimportant, but he's kind of funny. Because why? Because we're looking at him because he's the distraction. They sent him, I don't know who they are, but somebody sent him and says, keep it up there, Pickles. You're the distraction. Why? Because you're a dumbass and you just you drive people crazy. You drive people crazy with this stupid, nutty, strange business. That's true. Colleen Kellier says, there's no way she took all those drugs at once. This is premeditated murder. She told family members her ideation. Yes. Oh, yes, you're right about that. You understand my point completely. And here's what I'm saying. You ready for this? I might in my heart of hearts say, you know what? I really believe in postpartum depression. And I do. Oh, yes. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't think for a moment that there is no such thing. It's true. Yeah, you're right about that. Postpartum depression, so postpartum psychosis. I went, yeah. Oh, I'm not. And when you see other people, they'll show you over online women. One woman did something where she protected her kids and lost her legs. What was this? It was I forget what it was. And she gladly says, I lost my legs. And she's got prosthetic legs because I protect my kid. One guy, they showed this Japanese family. This was interesting. In an earthquake, they had the closed circuit or a camera. And the baby sleeping with the mother and the father and the mother and father. And by the way, that's a whole nother thing too. Babies should never cry themselves to sleep. I don't know where that came from, but crying is not good. And if that baby, of course, if they're 38 years old, it might have a problem. But if that baby at first is crying or can't sleep or is scared, his idea that that's okay, nonsense. Let them sleep with you. That's okay. This is not good. Their babies can't figure this out. Anywho, that's for another discussion. But when they were in bed, there was an earthquake and you could see everything moving. So the father reaches over, covers the baby. The wife is like, you're on your own, honey. And she probably had no problem with this whatsoever. But he covered the baby. Parents do this all the time. Parents, this is a rarity. This never happens. This never happens. None of this happens. None. It happens, but it's not something that there are people. I've got news for you. I've got psychiatrists who can come in and say, I've got people who take double what she took. They didn't kill anybody on postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. They didn't kill anybody. You know how they always say, serial killers always had in your research, remember bedwetting, arson, and teasing animals. Remember that one? They always said that. They've got people who do the same thing all the time. They're not so they're not serial killers. So there's no rule that if you do this, there are people who've been taking SSRIs forever, which is now, remember, she was not SSRIs necessarily, but anyway, they're it's like, for example, people who think that naloxone or Narcan is good for any kind of drug overdose. No. Opioids, yeah, but not, something like meth or whatever. It doesn't work. Anyway, not to get too far off of this. This is about the issue of issue analysis. Here's also what Candace says, and this is very careful. Let me see if I get rid of this and get rid of this so you can read specifically what it says. She said, why won't Turning Point USA publicly acknowledge the alleged text message leak from Charlie Kirk to Dan Flood? Andrew Wilson is not a party to the text messages, as he did not know Charlie at all. Can Erica Kirk or Andrew Colbert confirm their authenticity? If not, the public is right to assume that they are completely fake. Now, were it not for Candace Owens, nobody would be asking any questions about anything. Period. Were it not for Candace Owens. This is something I can't say enough. There's nobody but Candace Owens doing this. Nobody. Nobody. So we can get into this whole thing so that, again, I'm jumping all over the place. Remember, I'll go from subject to subject to subject. Think of my presentation as a movie. We have scenes. And you go from this scene, you got in the drugstore. And the next scene is out on the field. And the next one is at school. And the next scene, they're scenes. Each one is a different presentation of a different series of facts as part of the movie. Okay? Chapters, scenes, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Think about this. I cannot speak for an hour and a half on text messages. I just can't. It's just so boring. There's more to it than that. There's far more to it. Nonetheless, let me give you something called, this is called, I love when somebody all of a sudden, and bless their hearts, good people. But this is called the no shit headline of the day. When somebody says, maybe those SD cards just say, and it's just like, have you ever heard somebody, this happens all the time. Let's say there's a video going out or an interview or something that is so big, so huge, so incredible. Everybody and their mother's talking about it. Everybody. I mean, everybody. It's been on and on and on. And all of a sudden, somebody will send you that video or that text. It's like, where do you think I've been? You don't think I know this? Well, guys, you didn't see this. It's like, I know this. Or you'll see breaking news. This has been breaking since last week. What are you talking about? So, you don't want to sit there and say, listen, you're not impressing me with this. Well, I just want you to know. No. I've got people who I've known, they have these changed. They'll email me, hey, did you see where Trump said, yes, I saw that. What do you think? I'm stupid? Of course I saw that. It's like only some ill-informed rube wouldn't know this in any event. So this is, again, not to be mean, listen to this one. First, our good friend C.L. Jar says, many thanks, Lionel. Long for the day when the vulgar Wilsons crawl back under the rock. Yeah, but thank you. But in a weird way, they kind of reset us to an extent. They make us realize, and that's not true. That's not the right way. I don't think anybody watches them in support. I don't think we watch them in admiration. I sure as hell don't. Not at all. Not in the least. So let me ask you this question. What do you think was a specialty? If you had to guess, if you were Tyrell or whatever his name is, remember this dude? Remember the SD card dude? What do you think the purpose of grabbing only that card was? Not the camera, not the other SD cards, but that one there. What do you think the reason was? Use your head. What do you think? Why was that card so important? Why do you think that is? Understand that? What do you think? What was on that card that was so important? And was it part of the routine? Now make sure after this goes on, you get that card. You don't think all of a sudden he said one day, hey, wait a minute, I happen to get that card. No, I don't think that's true. What was on that card? What was on that card? It shows what happened behind the table. Yeah, what else? It would contradict the narrative. Yeah, what else? It would show where the shot came from. Maybe. Hiding the voice evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, not the voice evidence, but hiding the noise. When you have this, let's assume, and let me just work on this. And we'll take a hypothesis, because I will also say, we do not know who actually killed Charlie. Don't. I know who didn't. Tyler Robinson didn't, but I don't know who killed him. Don't. Neither do you. Nobody does. I have guesses, maybe. People who would have benefited from it, certainly. But we know, no. Not yet. I'll tell you when. Not yet. We're not going to run. I'm not going to do it's not like a spoiler alert. Nobody knows this. Now, when the official answer is provided, you will not be surprised, but we don't know this. We don't assume it's somebody just because it seems likely. Okay, but let's do this. When you have this, the hypothesis is that this device, this whatever it was, that this might have been responsible for either this Rode, I know this is wrong size, but for this Rode mic, this lapel mic, or this mic that is appended to a shirt, that this fires some shaped charge or something, right? We got it? You got it? Good. So if this went off, if this noise went off, there has to be some kind of an explosion in order, right? If that, and remember, I'm just saying, assuming arguendo, assuming for the sake of argument. This is what people have had a hard time when the defense was assuming things were happening. But if you were going to do that, this would make a noise indeed. My good friend Alex Vandelay says, is someone building a searchable library of all the raw evidence? It needs to be of archival quality, and the provenance must be documented. Absolutely. That is such a fantastic idea. Much like the Epstein files, where you could put in the name, and there's the name. And yes, you're right about that. I will go one step further. As I'm saying repeatedly, we have to have a movie. If you put together a really skilled, and all the movie, the evidence is here. I hope it's being done. I don't know, but you guys get together with an Oliver Stone type and say, who's the best? Best editors. I want the best editors. I want the best soundtrack. I want the best look. I want the best. I want it to be so spot on. We need a Loose Change version. Remember, Loose Change was the incredible documentary that opened up and really created the truther movement. The truther movement in 9/11. Absolutely. But there was nothing to this day better. And then I think it was Loose Change 2 or whatever. And then there were movies like Zeitgeist was good. Yeah. That was the one. But going back to what I said, let's assume this, okay? Here it is. And the argument is, under this hypothesis, that some type of an explosion fired some shaped charge, a projectile of some sort, and they got Charlie here, okay? And you can look, however it's done. Okay. When this thing went bang, all of the microphones around that would have picked up on that. Remember the sound, there was a crack, which I think is the most, for me, interesting. Why did that crack? It sounded like a rifle. It was that rifle sound. Why did it completely, how do I say this? Why was it synchronized with this? But anyway, another thing too was always question your hypothesis. If you come up with an idea, if you say, well, I think it's so-and-so, question it. Yeah, but what about this? Always try to find a hole in it. Always be devil's advocate. Find the problem in it. Don't just assume it, and don't get mad at somebody who points out something which is obvious. But what if that SD card was the one connected to the microphone, or something else that would have heard all of a sudden, bang? Now, we love sound. Remember during JFK, there was this talk about motorcycle microphones going off and be able to hear this. It's tough to do, acoustic analysis and the like. But what do you think about that? Well, people have been saying that since day one. Since we first saw the microphones gathered. And then we have this.
The card has the audio from CK's Rode mic. You fucking genius.
You didn't know that?
The SD card is connected to his Rode mic. So whatever the security is saying to him on the ground is captured in that footage.
Wait, SD cards can do. Wait, the SD card from the camera
so
is connected to his
he's wearing a
mic?
wireless mic, right? Everybody knows he's wearing a wireless mic.
Oh, it is.
That audio feed is going somewhere, and when he's on the ground, and think about this. So when the arm goes up, like his arm goes up, they're all and people thought that like he's just doing his death throes or whatever. My opinion is they had to unwrap something from under his arm, and they're going to be talking back. They're going to be talking down there. That audio is captured on that SD card. If
Maybe.
if that SD card has his audio on it, that's why he would have had to grab it.
Okay. Now, listen, that's good. Good thinking. Good thinking. Terrell Farnsworth, that's the guy to talk to, acted really weird. Not guilty, but weird. All of a sudden he says, I've got to get myself in a selfie. I don't know what's going on here. Oh my God. They killed Charlie. How do you know they did? How do you know that? It doesn't prove anything. All I know is that if this were a real honest to God case involving real honest to God, real honest people and real prosecutors, I promise you, you would have seen immediately, or would at some point have the deposition where all these people come in. All these people. And if they're not on the witness list, if the prosecution has not listed, then you don't have to send them a subpoena. You can just go talk to them. Send your investigators. And investigators, by the way, are the best. These are ex-cops and ex-people that they've retired, and they're very good. And they know everybody. They know everybody in the courthouse and at the police station. They know everybody. So if I say, hey, is Terrell Farnsworth, is he on? Remember, stop. You do know that Tyler has not been charged with a crime yet, right? There's been no arraignment. Next month, you'll find the official entry of, yes, we have probable cause, and now we can go forward. A year after the murder, they're going to charge him. He's not charged with anything yet. He's just held kind of a suspicion. They want to go forward with the charge. They think they have the evidence. And as I've told you for a gazillion times, why there was no grand jury, I will never know. When you have a grand jury and they say, yep, we issue a true bill. That means here's your indictment. They deliver, render, issue an indictment. What's an indictment based on? Probable cause. You don't have these hearings. No need for these hearings. You just go have an arraignment, you plead not guilty, set a trial date, maybe ultimately with some intermediate, and then you go to work. You could file for formal discovery. A lot of these rights don't kick in unless you're charged. I can't demand. If I've got somebody who's arrested, I can't go to the prosecutor and say, hey, give me all your information. Give me all your data. Give me all your... No, he's not charged yet, but he's in jail. He's being held. Don't you love this? What? He's not in jail? Well, he's in jail, but is he not charged? Well, he's not charged. He's being held. He's being held, yeah. Am I under arrest? No, you're just in custody. No, this is a detention. No, I can't move. It's like in the old juvenile days. Don't forget, you're not in jail as a juvenile. This is different. This is therapy. I see. This is therapy. Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough. This is therapy. Okay. Is that what it is? That's what it is. Okay. Fair enough. See what I'm saying? See how that works? The law is filled with this. It's just they have a million names for the same thing. It's just like objection, hearsay. Excited utterance exception. Overruled. It's admitted. What? Yeah. He said that statement as an excited utterance. Objection, hearsay. Overruled. Why? Because it was a statement made to a treating physician. It was an official records exception. It was a past recollection recorded. Excited utterance. Res gesti. Not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted. Wait a minute. Is this or is this not objectionable? This thing you want to bring in. Depends why. Is he or is he not being held? I don't know. He could be. He can't leave, right? Yeah. He's arrested? No, he's being detained. Can he walk away? No. But what is he? it's detention. I mean, it's just he's in custody. What? It's the same thing. In law, we do this all the time. Now, in a criminal case, your burden of proof is less than a criminal case, in a civil case, rather. What does that mean? I don't know. Do jurors really think that? No, not really. We'd like to think they do, but that's a different story. It's part of the game, as we say. Margot says Mike did not explode, still intact after impact. Well, the issue then is who says it explodes? It's not supposed to fire something and explode. One could say it's to shoot something. Guns don't explode. Derringers don't explode. The only thing that explodes is a bomb. It didn't go off so that the fragments were directed towards his body. That might be good. If it fires something, you don't need a lot of firepower to go this far. With enough speed, you don't need a lot. The mic's going to be covered. Maybe. I'm just saying to you things that I think. Somebody from the mic industry may say, what are you talking about? This doesn't even exist. But we always imagine, well, why would the mic explode? Why doesn't he just sit there and say, no, look at it and say, hey, look at this. Yeah. You know what? There's a little hole here. What? It's like a barrel. Did you see this? No, I didn't. And hey, this smells like gunpowder. Who would have looked at this? Now, other people are saying it might have been a drone. That we could have been drones. That there might be some kind of a weird military connection. Maybe an Egyptian. I don't know. Remember, let me explain something to you, and I hope you understand 100%. You don't have to explain or ask for permission to opine about anything. You do not have to ask anybody permission to believe or not believe anything. You can ask anything you want, think anything you want, try any theory, as long as you don't necessarily substitute that question for proof. That's the issue. That's the thing. Oh, I love these stories. I think they're genius. Did you ever watch Columbo? Who remembers Columbo? Who remembers Columbo? Who remembers the great Columbo? Remember how it was wonderful. And they come up with these not wild, but it was ingenious. But with John Cassavetes, his buddy, I love. They used to watch it all the time. Columbo was so good because they started off telling you who the killer was. Unlike other things, they told you who the killer was, and then they worked backwards. See what's going on? It was wonderful. Look at this. Somebody says, Lance was paid well. How do you know? How do you know? You think Lance's life is in danger? Look, there's 3 people that I would be very careful of. And I would be very careful. Number 1 is Charlie. Excuse me, it's redundant. It's Tyler. Big time. And this is a process of elimination. Very, very simple. If you remove Tyler, there's no case. There's no case, there's no Andrew, there's no Blake, and there's no Pickles. Thanks, Pickles. Have a good day. I want to still talk. We don't care about that anymore. Viva says, well, I don't know what to do. Okay. We'll talk about that? No. That's it. It's done. And we just wait until the trial kind of crawls out. If there's no Tyler, there's no nothing. People will lose their interest. People will say, do you still want to talk about what happened? No, not when the guy's dead. They learned that with old Lee Harvey Oswald and with Jack Ruby, for that matter. Now, if that happens, guess who's next? Lance. Lance says, oh, yeah, you could really be a problem. You could be a problem. Well, I don't know. you get some wild hair up your ass and you decide, I'm going to write a book. Well, nobody writes a book anymore, but I'm going to go and I'm going to tell people what really happened. Really? Yeah. Well, you know, that immunity, you sure you want to do that? Because you could still be charged theoretically with accessory after the fact, or tampering with evidence, or obstructing justice. But let's just assume he's crazy and he wants to say something, or other people, right? Get him out of the way. Yeah, you never know. And number 3, Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell is one. She is just, that Epstein stuff hasn't gone anywhere. She's the only person alive who was there on the islands, there at the apartment, the mansion in New York, there at the Zorro Ranch. She's the only person who was what, who was there, who knew what. The only person who could talk about whether big name people and presidents and leaders of big tech and, you know, leaders. She's the only one. So the 3, don't buy the green bananas, is of course Tyler, Lance, and Ghislaine. It's just, look, if I can figure this out, anybody can figure this out. See, that's the story. And remember, think about why this is important. Why going back and watching time. Let me ask you something. Do you have a hard time thinking, sometimes remembering that Charlie is dead? When you see Charlie speak, doesn't it freak you out still that he's dead? He's decomposed, or maybe he's. I don't think they cremated him, but I don't know. But remember this?
If we go dark, I'll put all those things out there.
By the way, do we finally know that PBD is a cretin? This guy is a grade A, 18 karat stonad. He's just where he got this thing, I will never know. Pilgrim meeting, top of the morning to you, Uncle Al. Thank you, Pilgrim. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. But this guy still blows my mind because he's such a jadrul in any event.
And if we go dark, I'll put all those things out there.
Yeah.
How did these guys not know this was taking place?
Now, this is a question he asked, which many, many people have asked before. How did Israel not know about October the 7th? Is there anybody alive today who thinks that Israel was caught off guard by October the 7th? Now, as you know, there is MyHop and LIHOP. MyHop said, made it happen on purpose. I don't know if there's any evidence of that. Let it happen on purpose. Well, maybe. Where you allow things. Remember, 9/11, they've been talking about this forever. Many people still believe in the notion of let it happen on purpose. But let's listen to the words of this wit.
So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress. When I first heard this story,
Bless
I
his
still
heart.
had the same
Look at him.
gut
Can't believe he's
instinct
dead.
that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that's an IDF soldier, right? The whole country is surveilled. And so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel is on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone, Patrick. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to lead. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked.
Now, let me stop right there. Do you think this was met with agreement, happiness? Were a lot of the folks, and you could say Israelis or Zion, you can use Zionists. Again, I would always say Israeli because it's the Israeli government, not even Israelis. Do you think this is something that Bibi Netanyahu and others wanted to be said from perhaps the most one of the most powerful and persuasive voices in American politics?
Was there a stand down order? Was there a stand down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it. Israel's the size of New Jersey. When I took a helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border, it's 45 minutes. Wow. 6 hours. They're live streaming the killing of Jews. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate, non-conspiracy question. The whole country is the IDF. The whole country is.
Yeah.
And you're trying to tell me that they're going to concerts and kibbutzes and schools and by reports 6 hours. Let's say it's 3 hours.
That's suspect. Go ahead, Rob.
It's also not like a right-wing reporting. This is from the New York.
By the way, also look at the people he has with him. The first criterion for their employment is they must be visibly, actively, and apparently dumber than he is. And that's a tall order.
Times. The long
Thank
wait
you.
for help as
Look at
massacre
this.
unfolds in Israel.
9
I can't think of a
hours.
more liberal news outlet than the New York Times.
And by the way, I'm actually very pro-Israel. So let me be very, so I'm not exactly.
I think we all are.
No, I just want to.
See that? You hear that? That was the, lest you forget. And of course, people sometimes will say that, not out of any intellectual conviction or any type of spiritual alliance. They will just say it because they feel like it's Pavlovian. It's like, achu, gesundheit, bless you, have a nice day. They just say these axiomatic things.
Make sure my position is clear here. But Patrick, there are other explanations. It's possible that the Netanyahu government was double-crossed by bad agents. Okay?
Could be.
That's
Yep.
dark, but it's not as dark as what we're talking about. Okay? Another aspect is that Netanyahu might have traitors in his government.
True.
Like legitimate traitors that have infiltrated. I was texting with some senior people in the IDF, and they said, Charlie, I can't say too much, but let's just say the same problem you have with the left in America we have here in Israel. So there's something
Could
to think
be.
about. Just something to think about, right? Is that maybe
And by the way, as you know, PBD right now, his head, he is thinking, I don't understand any of what he's saying.
there are some people within those intel agencies that aren't as sympathetic. Or maybe, Patrick, maybe they might have gotten a tip. They might have gotten whispers, but no one thought it would be 1,200 Jews dead. That's a potential, right? Because here's the essence of it. The essence is this. This is the closest thing to the Holocaust that any of us have lived through. But the fact is now Bibi and the Israeli hard right government has a mandate. I got to be careful the way I say this. They're going to try to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
Now listen to what this is so verboten. If you say this now, if you say ethnic cleansing, if you say apartheid, and you sure as hell if you say genocide, the ICC warrant notwithstanding, you are called absolutely ipso facto anti-Semitic. That's the trope today. That's the meme. That's it.
I mean, that's, and I don't use that term lightly, okay? They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people from there, okay?
Now they don't know what to do. Who is it? Adam, who is the severely emotionally disturbed and retarded of the group. This guy he doesn't know what to say because Charlie's presenting it so well that they're almost unable to refute it because he's giving it and he's couching it under the notion of conditions. Well, if this, then that.
And honestly, they have a mandate to go seek justice and revenge. They do. This idea that they need to have a truce or a peace treaty, that's morally crap after you see women and children be burned alive and dragged to the streets.
Well, and that's another one too. Remember, we're not going to do it now, but just refer to Max Blumenthal on that. That's all.
But there are some serious questions here, Patrick. And let me tell you, my pattern recognition over the last 5 years has become pretty sharp. COVID, Maui fires, Epstein. When I see a story and it doesn't click, our guts are usually right.
Now, as far as that goes, you see, this is what you have to remind yourself of. This also helps you sharpen not the suspects, but the reality of what's happening. You see that's part of it. Because see, here's the thing. Remember what I'm telling you, there's 4 parts of this. First, there's the who done it. Who actually killed Charlie? And remember, just now when you saw him, doesn't that kill you? He's dead. I keep looking right here at his neck. There's no hole. There's no nothing. But when I saw that geyser, I keep thinking, look at him now. 1 minute he's thinking, breathing, talking about the murder and the dispatch of others, and he doesn't realize that very soon he will be that person. He will be. He will be. And he always talks about it. Well, if they kill me and this one kills me, and it's like he was prescient. He knew it. And normally when people say it, they don't. They don't. I mean, they mean it, but they're thinking, well, it's theoretically. Not like Martin Luther King, who knew. And there's so many other people who come forward. So many other people come forward. Listen to this, by the way. Again, you can never put into perspective our good friend Baron Coleman. One thing I must say about him as well, and this has nothing to do with his information, which is impeccable. One of the most important things about him is his delivery. He seems, I don't want to say avuncular. He's not like your uncle. He's so, and again, it's not folksy. He's talking to you like he's talking to you. He seems like he's not broadcasting. He has an ability to talk to you like he's talking to you. And this is what people in the broadcasting business always try theoretically to do, where it sounds like I'm not broadcasting. But listen to his take on this and how critical this is.
Faced. And I don't think Charlie was either. I really don't. But if he was, if they want that to be his legacy, that he's just a total unadulterated liar and misleads people, okay, well, if the problem with a liar, if you catch them lying on that issue, if you catch Charlie Kirk lying on whether or not he likes Candace Owens, or was he just saying that publicly so she wouldn't attack him so he could accumulate more power, wealth, and influence? Well, if that's the case, what else was he lying about? Was he lying about his Christian faith? Was he lying about his marriage? Was he lying about his friendships? Was he lying about whether or not he was breaking the law? Was he lying? What does that give us some insight onto why Charlie Kirk was crying the night Donald Trump won? Because I'm very weirded out by that, if I'm being honest. I'm very weirded out by the fact that he was crying tears of joy when Donald Trump won election in 2024, and when he was confronted at an event under the tent. The guy didn't shoot him. He asked him a question. But when he was confronted on the event under the tent, one of the professors where he was, he said, hey, why did you cry that night? And he said, because I was told I was going to go to prison if Donald Trump left, and lost. And I was going to go to prison for a very long time. Well, did you do anything wrong? Well, if we can't believe what he says about Candace Owens in public, how can we believe what he says about whether he was committing crimes?
Interesting. Now, you do know how that thing works. Let me go back to my initial premise to remind you. There are 4 rings to this circus. The first one is who done it? Who killed Charlie? Who did it? Why? When? The methods? The methodology? Maybe why, but who did it? Is the actual who done it? It's the crime part, which is what we're talking about. The second ring is the trial. The trial. And the trial is important. The trial is, can you prove that which you believe to be in ring number 1? The third one is everything about Candace, well, maybe Candace by herself, but TPUSA and things that they said, and did Charlie love Candace, hate Candace, all that's kind of interesting. It's not critical to the determination of guilt, but it's fascinating to be sure. Our good friend Olivia Von Anken says, I completely agree with Barron. Well, interesting. He asks questions, and his statements are very interesting, but he's 100% right. He gives a perspective. The fourth, by the way, ring is just really separate from, but this is about why people just hate Candace. How Candace has become the the focus of the entire event. Candace has. And I find that interesting as well. That's another thing. So remember, in case you just tuned in, fact number one, Tyler Robinson didn't kill anybody. There is not anything here. I mean, normally, I swear to you, it's so obvious. They find this guy. He's with the gun. He's near the gun. They check him for, one of the reasons why perhaps they did not do a GSR gunshot residue check on him is because they knew they wouldn't find anything. So it's better to say, well, we were negligent in not doing it versus, well, we did the test and it was negative. The same thing that happens. The worst is the rifle being inconclusive. And by the way, that's not guilty right there. And as Pickles himself said, well, he's 75%. Sure. Mr. Debate, Mr. Genius, the gravamen, the actual reason why you are there. And what does he do? What does he do? He says, I'm 75% or maybe 80, whatever it was, as to the guilt. Do you think anybody, when he was done, they said, are you drunk? Did you have some type of a lapse of judgment? Did you take leave of your sensibility? What is 70? You're supposed to say 100%. What are you doing? You lie about everything else. You exaggerate about everything else. You've got to say you're 100% guilty. What did Candace say? 0% faith. She did it the right way. He's so stupid. He lies and exaggerates about everything else. His weird military history, our good friend Valhalla said, I don't know what it was. Normally, military records are pretty easy. What were you? And they always give you this. I was in the 101st Airborne 1st Marine Regiment, 3rd Battalion, 2nd Regiment, 2nd Platoon, 4th bunk from the left. You go, okay, all right. I don't even know what the hell that means. Where'd you go? Camp Pendleton, then I went to Camp Lejeune, then I went to Lejeune, then I went to this, and I went to BBR, I went to OCS, I was 224, my MOS was 224 Delta Roger. Okay, all right. All right, take it easy. They always go through this. It's like when somebody has a disease. What do you have? Well, I have a plantar fasciitis. I also have a patellar dehiscence, and I've got a sang-froid D form of basal non-Hodgkin's colitis with I don't know what that means, but people are absolutely critical. Who's following the money? I hope everyone is. Where is the money? Where is the money? It's a good point, though. But as I was saying, everybody knows everything about when they were in the military. I mean, even my father, he would tell you exactly the same thing. And it's very specific, which Fort did this. I was a PFC, I was at Fort Jackson, and Fort Sam Houston. And they just say, and I've heard this, and it never varies. It never varies. You can say, who was your sergeant? Boom, they remember. He remembers everything. Because it was a very, very important, critical part of your life, especially when you have amassed this much knowledge. And then later on, you find he's a colloquial sniper. I have no time for any kind of, it's not even stolen valor. Valor is if you claim you were the recipient of a medal or something. Just saying you were in the military when you weren't. If it's true. And by the way, if he was in the military, he is profoundly organically retarded to not be able to convey normally there's so much evidence. There's no equivocation. Well, I was a sniper. I was a civilian sniper. Were you in the military? Well, not that long. What does that mean? Not that long. When you kicked out? Who is there? I quit. You quit. I don't think you quit. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Okay. But don't forget, this is a man who said that a frangible bullet can actually, once it's fired, imagine if I see, let's say the target is whatever distance away. Even a paper target, 90 feet, 100 feet, whatever the yards. When you hear bang, ding, if there were, let's say, a frying pan, bang, ding. Okay, try it again. Move the frying pan farther. Okay, is that far? Bang, ding. Okay, there's a little bit, but that was a ding. It's very short because it's a bullet. According to him, once it leaves the barrel, it just starts to disintegrate. Bang, ding, or bang, ding, 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 ding. As the fragmented, frangible rounds, it's 100%, pardon my French here, good word coming, 100%, 18 karat, bullshit. Absolute, profound. It's just, you should be able to say, you cannot go on anymore. You can't meet with the whatever girls. You can't do anything. Why? Because you said there are bullets that break apart in midair. And you shouldn't be allowed to drive, hold sharp objects, vote, pick up the kids from school. Nothing. What moron says this? What is the purpose? But we must do this. And I'm violating my own rules because this guy is just so, you're wondering, can he really be this stupid? Yes. See, it's a shoot. It's not like he doesn't mean that. I'd feel better if I'd say he's just saying that. Oh, no. No. Watch this.
Charlie Kirk walked into rooms, the light flickered, and he went to an X-Men school, and he was a time traveler, I know.
I mean, this is all stuff that Charlie Kirk said, so is he crazy too?
Now, it's all stated out of context, always. And that's the most charitable. Why do you think Candace doesn't debate with anybody?
That didn't age well. And you can always tell when people are kind of... I had a friend, I'm not going to mention his name, a friend of mine who whenever he was lying, he would do kind of like that. He would just kind of, he would like stim or something. I don't know what it was, but he was like coming up with, his eyes would roll up and he would think about the answer. Oh, he was a profound liar. The only reason why nobody cared was he lied about stuff that didn't matter.
She doesn't debate with anybody who will challenge these views because she gets destroyed. And
she's on Piers Morgan all the time.
Let this stop right there. Let me just say this. And again, please, forgive me. I'm not familiar with whatever. I do not know if this is an OnlyFans girl. I don't know. But these young women, time after time after time, will ask the question that nails this chidrulo. And she just did that. What do you mean does a debate? What are you talking about? She's been at colleges. She's been, what? Does he doesn't, I got to calm down. I've got to calm down.
Him calling her, yeah.
Because she's debating with Piers Morgan.
Now, listen, and you're debating what some people say was some young girl who's, now I'm not, turns out they're smarter than anything I ever even imagined. But Piers Morgan, at least on paper, is not somebody to be trifled with. He's kind of been around, and at least he's I don't know if he's interviewed or debated. He's talked with everybody.
Give me somebody like Steven Crowder. She was offered.
Steven Crowder. Piers Morgan. Steven Crowder. There you go. Now, with all due respect to old Steve Areno.
$30,000 to debate with Steven Crowder on these various issues.
Don't you love this now? We're now offering money. We got to offer these people. There are a lot of people who say, offer me money. You know, they're out there. I'll talk to an onion ring. What is with this? I'm offering you money. I dare you, and I'll make it worth your while. I'll pay you. Remember, Gore Vidal and William F. Buckley, they just never would even think about that.
Nope, she's not going to do it. Right? She's not going to debate with any of these people.
But you're also not realizing that there's like 6 other podcasters.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see if I can.
She's not going to do it. She would lose. In fact, tell her she can bring Ian Carroll both at the same time.
What about the other podcasters who are doing their own investigations? Can they come on too? There's several other people who are also investigating and using their platform with other people to find stuff
Investigating what?
Investigating what? You see, he just spews the. Why am I doing this? I admit I'm guilty, but I got to tell you, he just says things. It's like a fart or something. He extravasates, he exudes, he propels. He's kind of that's his whole thing. He said, debate what? On what? Who? What? She lose. It's just like Tourette's, pardon my friend, almost like this tick where he just says things. It has nothing to do with reality.
What happened to Charlie Kirk?
Well, that's fine. I don't mind anybody investigating what happened to Charlie Kirk.
They're
Do
backing.
you think
They're
it was an inside job, or what do you think?
This. Okay, I'm sorry. Last one. Now watch this young lady go in for the kill. Sees that flailing, exposed nerve. It goes right there. It's like when you told somebody, like if somebody, a boxer is hurt or something, or maybe he broke his rib and it's quiet, you find out, go for the rib. When you hit that liver shot, go up a little high, hit the rib at the same time. Watch this one.
Let's try this again. It's like talking to a fucking child. Okay. Do you agree with me?
No.
Okay.
Now she is toying with him. You ever see a cat with a mouse? I know this is too small, but I'm sorry. You ever see a cat with a mouse? They don't really eat the mouse. They just kind of play with it, drive the mouse crazy. That's what this woman is doing.
Do you agree with me?
I've never seen you this pissed off. This is fucking hilarious. Oh my
I'm not
God.
pissed off. I'm just.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, you are. And
No.
women are emotional. Look at him.
You're the one freaking out, not me.
I'm not freaking out. I think this.
Yes, you are. I know I am. This is a grown man, and this woman knows exactly. Why does he? This is the debater. You think somewhere in the course of debating 101, somebody was saying, now here's how you can't let people get to you. Candace never loses it. Never. In fact, she even said one of Charlie's instructions was never take it personally.
This is hilarious.
For me, it's extremely frustrating talking to someone who doesn't actually
sounds like an
understand
emotion.
the words that are coming out of my
You're
mouth.
sounding very emotional right now, Andrew.
Can we go
Would
back?
you like to get some water?
Yeah, can we go back and go through all
If you need to
these?
cry, that's okay.
Can we go back
I'm
through,
here for you, my friend.
Can we go back through these descriptors now?
Sure.
Okay.
Alrighty.
What is a
You
right?
just want to keep defining words?
What is a
Fucking
right?
Merriam-Webster over here.
What is a right from your perspective?
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with your definition on those descriptors.
No, but I want your definition.
I'm fine with your definition of that.
Then why do you keep contradicting yourself if you're fine with my definition?
I'm not contradicting myself. Your claim just doesn't make sense that humans do not deserve rights specifically because they cannot physically.
When did I
defend
say
them.
they didn't deserve them?
You just did, like
I said
4
they
times.
don't exist inherently, right?
I never said. I can't even do this anymore. I never said they don't exist. I suggest they exist inherently. I can't do it anymore. I mean, he is so. And if you told him, say, do you know, most people would say, you don't speak Spanish well, do you? Well, not really. Do you know what you told that old lady? Do you know the words you use when you use the word papaya? And she's Cuban. You don't know what papaya means to a Cuban? You know what you asked that old lady? No, I didn't. Not good. Now, most people would say, oh my God. Andrew would say, nothing wrong with what I said. Why was she crying? She wasn't crying. Yes, she was. You were wrong. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. It's unbelievable. Now, this I've got to share with you. And it has nothing to do with Candace or Charlie or Tyler or Pickles or anybody else for the matter. It is something that should scare you to death. Look at what is happening. Look what China is doing. Let me just say this. Look at what China is doing right now. Look at this. We're not even, granted, this is not good. This is 2026 Beijing World Humanoid Robot Games. Do we have anything? No. Look at this. This is going to blow. Do you feel scared yet? Do you know what's happening? Do you know what's happening? We're debating data centers. We're saying, hey, you're using too much water. Okay, good. I don't know what we're doing, but we are going to, China owns everything. Have you ever seen a Chinese phone? I heard about this, a Huawei phone. Look at this. A couple of, now granted, they'll run into a wall, but sometimes humans do. These are armies. Imagine these armed with guns, RoboCop like you cannot believe. They're not humanoid. They're going to be calling humans robotoid. This absolutely. And what are we doing? I'm sorry. Hey, you can't put that center there. Hey, that's too much water. Okay. Not that it's valid, but we're doing nothing like this. Tesla comes up. Oh, we hate Tesla. Oh, we hate you. Why? We just. We will never understand what's happening. And finally, this. I want to show you something. This is what's really important. I can't say this better. This is going to be total transhumanism. We're going to one day have robots instead of children. And in some cases, that's good. But little by little, bit by bit, what you are seeing here is going to be the complete and total, at first supplementation, then the abrogation and the removal of humans. This is as existential as you get. You're going to see people with little robot children instead of children. You're going to see people dating robots instead of boyfriends, girlfriends. You're going to see some people prefer a robot or whatever over, whatever. And this isn't even AI or AGI. This is just robots. This is just the robotics. This country, us, our civilization, we are so behind. I was listening today to, who was it? Was it Larry Johnson and Judge Napolitano? They were talking about just our military, not just, this is important, not just do we have people on boats that are not getting anything. The logistics, this is our Navy. The logistics, you've got, when you have these fleets, you had a lot of people who were doing important things. Like, for example, Bradley says, Lionel, debate seeks truth, advocacy persuades. Is Candace using Charlie Kirk like Cochran used the glove, emotion over evidence? No, of course not. You're asking, is she using Charlie Kirk like Cochran used the glove? No, the goal during the Cochran case was the acquittal of OJ. She's not using Charlie Kirk. She is, in essence, using evidence to prove, first of all, that Tyler Robinson is not his assailant. She's also trying to show who his actual ones were. This is not emotion over evidence. She might want to supplement evidence with emotion, but no. This is not, hey, some razzle dazzle. I'm gonna give you some word that rhymes together. No. But thank you for that. Absolutely not. But going back to what I was saying, in these fleets, and I'm not familiar with this, but in the fleet, you have, the carrier groups and this and that, and then you have these regular boats that bring things like milk and eggs and whatever and stuff. They're like, well, they have been, some of them were blasted out of the water by various regimes or what have you. That's number one. Number two, these young men and women have not been to port for the longest in maybe Navy history, where you don't go to a port of call, where you don't get off and go to a bar and have fun and work off some steam just to try to keep your head straight. Our mothers of these young people were showing up and were complaining to various people that their sons have. One kid had lost 30 pounds. They look skinnier. I mean, I can't believe what's happening here. And the cost of one of these drones is $250 million, like $250 million a drone. I mean, these drones it's not what you think. And they're shot out of the air like you can't believe. So I'm also finding out and reading, just as an example of that, to make it even more complicated, that Iran is laughing at us and saying, you're never going to get the Strait of Hormuz open, and you may not ever be able to come here ever again. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Nothing. And then you've got Russia, China, and others who are making their intentions known. They are with Iran 100%. as makes sense. The Emirates and others. I mean, it is the world is so anyway. So as I'm telling you this, New York Post today said, we're winning. We're killing these people. Trump's got them right where he wants. And I'm thinking, he's like pickles. We live in a world where people say whatever they want, and it has nothing to do with reality. That's all. So I just threw a lot of stuff at you, my friends. And I'm so glad you were with us. I'm so honored that you're here. Thank you so much for spending your time. Thank you so much for your contributions, for super chats, and thank you for everything. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. Make sure you remain subscribed, because sometimes people are unsubscribed for reasons I don't understand. And please follow. Please follow Mrs. L. Look at this. Somebody says, I don't use AI. Or he says, I don't use AI. I hate AI. Oh, yes, you do. You hear that? I don't use AI. Wow. That's not going to age well. Yes, you do. I don't use surveillance cameras. No, they use you. Yeah, but I don't have a flock of cameras. No, they surveil you. Okay, well, I don't do it. And I appreciate sometimes this sense of this independence, but you use AI. It's here. It's not going anywhere. I'm just saying. You see that? I appreciate that. I love that. Yeah. I don't care about it. I don't watch CNN. I cut the cord. That's good. Yeah. I don't vote. Okay. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't even remotely know. But people love to just respond. This is incredible. See, we still need to teach people. In any event, thank you. Have a great and a glorious day. Please follow my beloved wife at Lynn's Warriors. And until we meet again, my friends, remember the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dad.